I'd like us to start working on our front end a little bit. Now, I have a simple template right here, which I'm going to use to display the featured screencast. We're not going to be getting the featured series yet, but we want to actually just display a series from our database to the front end users. How are we going to be doing that? I have a template right here, so we're going to get that data from the database and actually display it, okay? And we're going to be talking more about the images. I would like to start by creating a new controller that I'm going to call PHP artisan make controller, the front end controller. And all of those little routes like the welcome page are going to be accessed from this controller. So if I head over to my web route, we have this closure right here that I'm going to switch out right now. And I'm going to tell them to use the front end controller. And we use the welcome method, okay, for the welcome page. So head over to that controller and we'll create the welcome method. And this welcome method simply returns the view welcome like before. But now we want to actually display some series right here. So what I want to do is I want to get all the series from the database for now. And then I'm going to display all of them on the front page. So we'll just say return this view with series and we'll get series all. Okay, then on this view we'll now have access. So if I visit my welcome.blade.php, we can now have access to that collection. Therefore, we'll loop through all of the collection using a for else preferably, and would say series as maybe a variable s, then we'll reference our empty block and end for else. So in this for else part, we're gonna paste that template, and for now let's just start by customizing the card title. So we'll get the series and we'll get the title, and right here we can actually just get the series description. Okay, so let's see how this looks. Refresh. Okay, so we have two series in our database, the best Laravel cast and advanced Vue.js beginners course. So this is the description that we saved to our database. Now let's talk about the images. I'm gonna show you something right here. If I simply echo out the series image URL that we saved, refresh, you discover that we actually saved the name of the file without actually saving the path. Remember, we agreed we're gonna put it in a series path, but then there's a little bug in the application that I'm gonna show you later. We're gonna write tests to fix it, and that is when we're updating the series, we don't actually concatenate the series path right here. Okay, we're gonna take care of that later. Okay, so how do we display this image from our storage? Now, first of all, remember, if you want to actually display any image from your storage directory, then that image has to be in a public disk. Okay, so you have to make sure it's in the public directory in your storage directory. So we have our storage directory and we have app, which is the default local disk. And if you want it to be visible to the public, you have to put it in the public directory right here. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to be doing is making sure that we actually save our images in the public directory, which we're going to be taking care of in the next lesson. And the second thing we want to make sure is we actually save the correct path into our database, which we are also going to be doing that in the next lesson with our test. But for now, we want to see how we can actually display the current images that we have right now. So the first thing you have to know, displaying images from your storage, it has to be in the storage public directory. So I'll just move my series directory into the public directory just for now. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to run a command that Laravel provides for us, which is php artisan storage link. Okay, and if you look at what this command does, it creates a storage directory in our public directory right here and moves everything in that public directory to the public directory up here. Now what happens? Laravel now gives us the permission to display all of the files from the public directory. As easy as that. So if we wanted to display this image right here, we'd head over to where we have this asset and would reference that file, right? So let's just say we'll call our asset method, because the asset method accesses the assets from this public directory, right? And we need to get into our storage directory, and then we have a series directory, and that's where we have the file that has been saved. So right here, this is where we're going to concatenate with the storage, the series image URL. Okay, so storage directory series, then the series image URL. That's what we're gonna have. So let's refresh the page to see what we have. Yeah, it doesn't display anything. Let's inspect to see what's going on. And we have series broadcast. This means we need a slash right here. Okay, so let's refresh one more time. There we go, we have our images displayed, but this image is not displaying obviously because we don't have that image in our series directory, right? So we can actually display the images from our storage, but our system does not work as expected. We're actually just learning how to display from our storage directory, but we have to make sure that when we are saving the image into our storage directory, we save it into the public directory also, so that we can access it using PHP Artisan storage link. And we also have to make sure that when we are updating our series, the image is actually updated and the correct part is saved into the database. Okay, so let's take care of that in the very next video.